Meanwhile, the femme fatale continues with her own method of persuading the scientists to relinquish the formula.
And what else do you have to tell me about your bliss pill? I think marketing potential for it will be enormous.
Well, that's interesting, I guess, but have you read my paper on the genetic mutation in the Drosophila melanogaster? But how about my new non-aspirin for the common headache? We might discuss that.
Well, I have confession to make to you, Professor.
Confession? I'm afraid that's not exactly my line.
It's just that ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be one of those deceitful, nasty people we were discussing before.
You mean the National Science Foundation? They never give me a grant.
No, a super spy.
Oh, but why would you want to spy on everybody?
Well, as our Minister of Communications says, and I quote from New York Times, "The system is not a threat to a law-abiding citizens, it only brings additional security."
Is that your government speaking or ours?
Good question. But, as our president has said, in Russia you cannot just go and tap into someone's phone without a warrant. So what is your best source of information?
My friends at NASA, until they removed first A. But now we don't get anything from them. Everything's secret.
Well, we always can rely on leaks.
Which ones? You're getting so many, we're just sinking in them. NSA used to stand for never say anything, but now it's not secret anymore.
Well, do you think I could pass a security check? And I knew all about Manning and Snowden before anyone figured out what they were leaking.
How could you do that?
It's a secret! I always wanted to be a super spy, always knowing just where it's at, flying across continents at the drop of a hat, stopping only now and then to take a lover and getting right down to it undercover. There are just so many reasons why I always wanted to be a super spy.
Niktornis Nayat, what happened to your accent?
I disguised it, no one knows. Yes, I always wanted to be a super spy, driving sporting cars with style and flair, with forged passports and credit cards for everywhere, doing kung fu and judo exercises, all shapes and sizes of clever disguises. It's simply inexorably evident that I always wanted to be a super spy. But of course, I'm not a super spy. If I were a super spy, you couldn't trust me, could you?
How can I tell?
A super spy is inscrutable, beautiful, and remorseful. Resourceful, materializes from out of thin air, and does it with such savoir-faire. A girl or a guy who can look you in the eye and lie. Super spy. I always wanted to be a super spy. Microfilm in the midnight meeting. Formulas and a secret reading. Dazzling feats that defy repeating. Like breaking the code. You break the code to break the code or die. Super spy. I've got to have the code. You've got to give me the formula, doctor.
Don't call me doctor. Call me professor.
There are just so many reasons why I always wanted to be super